Alright, so we're back, and today we're going to be putting together the Predaking, the TFC Predaking Ares. So first we're going to be taking a look at all the individual bots so you guys can actually finally see them all together. I know some people have been really dying for this. Now, the hands and the feet can come apart and you can wield those with the individual Predacons. The hands, not so much. They just kind of have to sit on the side. And I'm not a huge fan of the cannons for the that the feet turn into. So just to let you know, I'm not going to be showing them off utilizing these because I think they're kind of throwaway guns or throwaway accessories. So we're gonna kind of set those off to the side. I guess throwaway is not the proper word. I think just not usable for me. All right, so we got Razor Claw here, and you know, as I said in his review, he's too big. But the mold is actually really good. It's got a few issues like the chest not locking in. I pointed that out. But he does look good. And once I start thinking of it as more or less Beast Wars style designs, it sits better with me than G1 style. Now, I wish this came with the dive bomb. And I wish that there was a port on his forearm to plug this in, because I think that'd look really good, or up on his shoulder. But I have yet to find a place to port this in. He's got these ports on the inside, and at first I thought, oh, maybe he just mistransformed or misassembled. But this actually has to click in there into this port here for combined mode. So that's not it. So what we could do is take the tail off. You can flip down the little gray handle on here, and he can hold it like a giant rifle. I think that's too big and ridiculous. I think it would work as a shoulder cannon or wrist cannon or something like that, like a Megatron style blaster. But as a gun, I think it's a fail. I really wish that he could have plugged it in, but you know, it could be worse. After all, everything is just it's the Predaking's cannon, so it's not really his cannon. So we're gonna get the next, I'd say the two weakest ones out. Tantrum, and I've got him holding the rifle gun or whatever from the Razor Claw or Rampage mold, and his sword. So it looks pretty nice. Like I've always bitched about, you move the sword, the whole hand swivels out. It's poor design. But yeah, there he is. And this is where, you know, the one major thing I really don't like about this Razor Claw is the scale with his own troops. He's so much bigger than them. It's really off-putting. And here he is with Headstrong. And same situation here. He's got the gun that comes with dive bomb and his sword. So it's pretty cool looking. He's got the same issues that he does. These two really are the weakest in design. They have some aspects of them that I think are better than others, but they're probably the weakest in the design area. Razor Claw is the weakest in the scale area, and it's so off-putting that it really, really tarnishes the whole figure. And then we get into the jewels of the collection, which actually, you know, make me kind of want to keep the whole set, but I'm not going to. We got Rampage here with its stupid little pickaxe thing. I hate that weapon. It's just ridiculous looking. But the mold, the toy is absolutely incredible. It's just amazing. how good this figure really is. And then, speaking of amazingly good figures, here is my favorite version of this character, being Dive Bomb. And again, he's got the pickaxe, but he also is holding one of those swords. Now, they all have full armament of guns and weapons. We've got a razor claw sword here, and these things come apart into cannons. So we've got weapons to go around, and I've only took one of the feathers out of his wing packs to give him, to give those to him. So I think this just looks incredible. I really like this this team. It is a really good team now that I've got it all together. We're going to be... I'm going to pause this and flip them over into beast mode, which is going to be the easiest way to... I'm going to flip them to beast mode, and then I'll show you how to transform them into combined mode from there. But I'm not going to do the beast mode on screen, because I've already reviewed the transformations on that aspect of it. But I haven't done the combined mode, so we'll get into that as we go. But I think the team looks really good. I wish the Razor Claw was a little bit smaller, and I really wish the cannon was able to plug in on the arm or something. And it really wouldn't have been that hard for them to do that. So it's kind of confusing why they didn't. And I've seen them utilize the same ports over and over and over again, so I'm surprised. Like right here, there's this big round port, which I haven't really found any place to plug in. But if they would have replaced that with the combiner port instead, then the whole thing could click into the shoulder, and that would be pretty awesome. I would actually really enjoy that. But they didn't, so, what are we going to do? So I'm going to transform them all over into beast mode, and then we'll go from there. Alright, so I'm back, and we got these guys into beast mode. Here is the Razor Claw. Like I said in his review, he does look good. He's just too big, and he does have some other flaws. But he does look good. Here's the Dive Bomb, who is a little front heavy, admittedly. There we go. I get him, and then I knock him over. There we go. So there's the Dive Bomb. Here is Headstrong. Or no, Tantrum. And Headstrong. And Rampage. Of the alt modes, I have to still give it to Rampage, followed by Dive Bomb. These guys are pretty awesome in their alt mode. So this is where they really shine, I think. So yeah, there they are in their alt modes. We're gonna go into combination. So the first thing I'm going to show off is how to put the feet together. I didn't take mine apart. Initially, I just decided, in case you guys do have it taken apart, I can show you how to put it back together. So you want to take this piece here and make sure that this porthole there is facing up, and the screw holes are facing down. You just plug that in, plug this in together, and there you have the foot. Make sure these toes are pulled out. Mine do have a tendency of getting stuck if they're all the way in, so when you transform it back, be careful not to push it all the way in, otherwise you're going to have a pain getting it out. Take this gun here, extend the barrel all the way out, and then just plug it into the back where that porthole was, and then there you have his foot. 3 toes instead of just the 2. I think it's a different idea. Give them a little bit more of a heel spur and makes them more look more beastly. So we'll set that off to the side. And the other one, like I said, I didn't have it taken apart, so just plug in the toe, extend all the toes out properly, and then set it off to the side. And then sword combination is really, really simple. Flip the handle down, just like so. Set that off to the side for just a second here. Take the pickaxe thing, fold this up. Take the sword, and there's a plug and a port. Plug and a port. And you just plug these together, just like so. Plug in really nice, tight. Same thing over here. Flip that up. Plug those in. That one's really tight. And then there's a plug and a port. Plug and a port. Plug those together. And then just slide it down over this sword. And these slots here and here will slide into part of the plastic on this thing. And also these tabs here and here will plug into these black bits on those pickaxes. Just like so. There you have his big sword. It's okay. I do like it a little bit better than the MMC's giant sword, because that one's just crazy and all over the place. But I don't like it as much as Unique Toys, because Unique Toys was just one piece. So, you know, whichever. Set that off to the side. And let's get these guys into combine mode, shall we? Let's start with Headstrong here. And what we want to do, rotate the legs down. Like so. Come on. There we go. And these will... You want to pull this down, like so. Collapse the body up. Put the legs all the way up as far as you can go. These will rotate back, and there's a little hook right here that'll hook into this plastic right there. So you flip this around, and you hook the foot in. Do the same thing over here, and hook the foot in. Just like so. And now these will plug together. Or wait, you want to fold these panels up. And now they'll plug together. And before you do that, you want to take one of these little black doohickeys and plug it in on the inside. There's just a little groove in there. You just plug that in. And plug the legs together. Give it a good squeeze, and there you go. Now, I hear, and I think this is what's wrong with mine, is that some of the pegs are too long on this, and it doesn't hold together very well because of that. We're going to try without doing anything. I did try and shave one of the pegs down, but it didn't do any good. So we're going to try not doing anything else to it unless we have to. I have zip ties if we really need to get to that. You want to fold the tail in and then pull this down. There's two little plugs right in there that'll plug into two little holes here and there, and they just plug that in. it's not plugging in very well. There it goes. It's not a super tight plug-in, but it works. Alright, now you want to take this back piece here and you fold this out, and it's just on a double hinge, so you want to fold it down as far as you can get it. Pull the legs down, and there's a little slot right in here. They'll plug into this little slot right there. Rotate the foot around maybe. Why are you giving me trouble today? I just did a dry run. I know this works like this. Foot falls off. Try it this way. There we go. I don't know what the hell's going on here. Just did not want to cooperate. So rotate this foot back, and this goes back here, and this will just plug into that same slot. Hopefully this will go right in, and it does. Awesome. And then just kind of squeeze the shoulders down. There's a little tab that's behind the shoulder here. It's really pretty much impossible to show off, but there are two little tabs on each side in the shoulder that if you give it a good squeeze, it just locks it in, so it's just a big block of plastic now. You want to just take the head and fold it forward. I really wish there was another place for the robot head to go, but there isn't, so we'll just leave it how it is the best we can. And you take the foot and you just plug the little porthole there that we put in right into the foot. I really wish that the porthole was its own entity, or was built into the actual figure itself. I think that would make it a little bit more stable, rather than have a bunch of things that tab in together, then tab into a small little tab that is used to tab it into a foot that has a bunch of tabs holding that together. But yeah, whatever. What do I know? Alright, this guy, pretty much the same kind of situation. Yeah, fold the tail up, rotate the legs down, and just kind of get them straight. Best you can. Then they extend all the way up. I guess that's all the way up already. Rotate these feet back, and there's a little clip right here that clips over that little doohickey there. Do that on this side as well. Now, I don't have any problems with this guy porting together. Flip these little panels up. I don't have any issues with him whatsoever. Just headstrong, really. So you take this piece here, plug it into the bottom here. And this will all just tab together, like so. This piece comes down, plugs in, just like Headstrong's little back piece did, and it does so much easier. There we go. Take the waist here, and rotate this down. We will rotate this around. And this just kind of double hinges down like so. It was up here, and then we just double hinge it down right here. Rotate the arms forward like so. Then we fold these feet pieces back here. Shorten them just by pushing them together. And then he's got little tabs in his forearms, a tab onto this tab right here. He's going to give me trouble today, isn't he? There we go. There we go. Rotate. For the head, what you got to do is untab it, rotate it, or pull this head up, rotate this around, flip the head back in, and then you can tab it back down. I hope you guys saw that. It was, let me redo that because I don't think I did that on camera. Alright, so this is how it was. Okay, tabbed in. You can't rotate this around with the robot head in there. So you got to untab it. There's just two little tabs. I really want to show this off because this is a good way to break his head off if you're not careful. But there's a little tab there that plugs in there. Same on the other side. So you untab it, fold this up, pull the robot head down. Then you can take the bull head, rotate it around, and put the robot head back inside. And then you tab it together. And then fold it forward. Oh, no, I don't think you need to, I don't think you're supposed to tab that in. Nope, definitely not. Sorry. So don't tab it back in, just fold it forward like that. Take this back piece here, unplug this, and it rotates down. It's on a double hinge. There's actually two pegs right here that'll put into these little slots back here. They don't hold it very securely by any means, but they are there. And then you just do the same thing with the shoulders. You squeeze them. There is a little tab in there that will hold them into place pretty well. And it's just really, really impossible to show it off. And then you flip this connector port up and plug them into the foot. And I forgot to do that over here. So you just connect the port up and we're golden. Alright. Rampage. Take the tail off. Set that off to the side. We will not come back to that because he doesn't have a tail. Or he doesn't use his tail. Stretch the legs down, and you want to kind of pull them straight down, straighten them out, and then let's see, what do? We up. They need to be up, and then this will rotate back. Just kind of get these out of the way. And the porthole to hold the hand joint is right here in these knees. So you want to put them back, but you don't want to get them too far out of the way because you do need to have those knees present. Take this piece here and fold this back, and it just tabs in like so. There's just a little tab right here at the top that plugs in right there. And then we want to pull the waist piece down. That just fits over here. Unplug this. This will come down here. And now we got his arm right here. Here's the elbow. Like so. And then these will just fold up a little bit, and there's a little tab on his shoulder that will plug into there very loosely. It doesn't hold in all that well, but it's one of those joints that it doesn't bother me because it's out of the way enough. That doesn't bother me at all. Pull these little pieces in a little bit, and then this piece will come forward to form the head. And then this will fold up. You just kind of have to get things out of the way, like so. And then fold this down. Alright, sorry about that. Okay, so we got, this is the arm mode. We'll rotate forward so it can actually be the arm. And, yeah, take one of the hands. And you can do the same thing where you take the little port top off and plug that in individually. I don't like doing that just because I don't like removing these things from the hands. I do have one that has some stress marks on it because of that. But you just plug those in and you just plug all this together. It really doesn't seem to want to plug in properly. It's really hard to angle these things while doing this on camera and getting it in the proper configuration. We'll just do it this way then. So this will just plug in here. And this should just come right down here and everything should just plug right in. But it's not, because it sucks at life. Seriously, it's not that hard. There we go. Alright, so we got that plugged in. I don't know why it was giving me a hard time, but that's just kind of the way of the game with this Predaking. Just kind of move these things out of the way. Put this thing down. And then we take this hand, plug it back in, and there we have one Predaking hand. All done up properly. I'm just gonna keep those arms out of the way. Now, for the dive bomb, rampage out of the way, razor claw. You want to pull the wings off. Just set those off to the side. We'll come back to those later. You extend the legs back down. And it's pretty much the same thing. Just fold the claws and stuff up. Get those out of the way. Pull the waist here down. Like so. Tail fins can just go however you want them. I'm just going to leave them how they were, just like so. Rotate. So this will be the front. Front. He does have a swivel above the elbow and below the elbow when he gets into Predaking mode, so however you want to really angle him. Just trying to get these tail fins out of the way here. Alright. Rotate these forward. Open this up, and this will just kind of, you just kind of angle this forward, and then you can just put these back there. Rotate the connector port down. It's all pretty simple stuff with this one. And then you take the hand here, and you just, it's the same thing, you just plug it into those little ports on the inside of the knees. Only this one seems to want to work better for me. And there you go. There is Dive Bomb in arm mode. And I think he does look pretty good as an arm. So we'll set that off to the side. The wings here, you just fold the little inner pieces in, pull out those armatures, fold those back down, and then you fold these little pegs here up, like so, and then these will come up like so. Just like that. Now, razor claw here, we unplug the cannon. Unplug the cannon. Just because they're just an absolute nightmare to try and transform with them on. Hell, they're a nightmare trying to get them into the right place. Rotate, or take the tail off. Rotate the waist around, like so. And we've got it pretty much done. Fold up the feet here, just like so. Fold these little side pieces down, get those out of the way. Flip the arms up, and they rotate around. And what's going on here? Oh, these rotate around. I wasn't lying to you. They do rotate around. That's how it's supposed to go. Like so. I just forgot this step. Take this piece here, and this will rotate down and fill in that the waist there. And then the tabs on the forearms, like I was saying before, where I thought, you know, maybe this is supposed to be on the other side. Well, they plug in here, so they can't be on the other side. Alright. Take the headpiece down, rotates down like so. It just sits down right there. Make sure these connector ports are down. Waist piece just kind of extends. Pull this piece out. And then you rotate the Predaking head around. It's a tight joint here, kind of difficult at times. Everything likes to get caught. Take these pieces here and they just rotate around like so. This will fold in. Flip the little headpiece down. Antenna comes up. Alright. And then back here, what you want to do, get this kind of out of the way. You want to take these pieces here, and they're hard to see, but they're like the first two notches on this back spine here. They come up like so. And you rotate these off to the side, and then I like to plug them into the arms right here. And that just kind of helps keep the arm together, but it's also where the wings will plug in. Fold this back down. And there you go. And I'm going to pause this for a second, and then when we come back, we'll put it all together. Alright, so let's get this guy together. So, let's see here. First thing we want to do, forgot to pull these little ports out here. Pull those out, and then you can take these red pieces here, and they do kind of swivel around the port to just kind of lock it in, which is really nice. I do appreciate that. And I don't like turning it all the way around, just enough to get it going. And then we'll start with the legs. So you get him, and you just plug him in just like you would any other TFC combiner. Just like so. And you plug him in. Now, there's a little bit of a design error here. All the instructions should have put these down like this, but the heads of the beast kind of get in the way. So if you turn this just a little bit, then you can get it in there. Maybe. Oh, come on. There we go. And there we have him standing-ish. Alright. Then we come up here. Take the camera up a bit. Alright. And you want to take arm and you just plug it in. This arm. And you're seeing the issues with this guy already. He is already back heavy. And just kind of rotate this down just a little bit here. You can see this piece just doesn't like to hold in there, and that really makes him an unstable figure. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna take a zip tie here and we're going to plug this piece back in how it's supposed to go. Feed the zip tie behind his beast legs here. Come on. So you can get them to be put together, and you can get it to work, but while trying to do a review like this, it's really difficult to do that, and without it falling apart, as you guys saw. You know, if you don't have a very stable leg, you're not going to have a very stable combiner. Go. And I'm just trying to find my little clippers here, but I can't seem to locate them right at the moment, which you know makes sense. Alright, so now we're just going to clip tip this off. So we just have the twist tie fix or Predaking here. And plug the foot back in. And plug the toe back on because those fell off. I know this is turning into a very long review, but and I know it seems like I'm making mistakes here, but this is just the design of the figure, and I want you guys to see this. Alright, now we plug the other arm in. There we go. It's very frustrating when things don't go the way they're supposed to. Alright, now we've got his back to us, and you can see he's so back heavy, and it's just not working very well. I'm going to try and rotate these up so I can get him more of a flush knee. Alright. I know all this seems very unprofessional to be having this guy fall apart like this, but quite frankly, like I said, I don't like to show off like, oh, this is what it's going to look like if everything goes perfectly fine. I want to show you how it's going to be as you're doing it. So that seemed to help a little bit with stability there. Alright. Now, with the wings, these two top ports here and these two here are going to plug into these two holes that are here and these two holes that are here. It's extremely hard to show this off. Just because there's no clearance there to get the camera in. But they're just 5mm ports, like I was afraid of. And then you can take the wings here and fold them up. Like so. And then rotate them to the side a little bit here. And you want to take these cannons here and just kind of rotate them all the way down. And they plug into the back of Razor Claw's shoulder. Now the problem is with the wings back there, it makes everything really kind of tight to get in there. So again, this is something I can't really show off all that well just because of the angle of which I have to do this at. Pull the wings back. Extend the barrels. Try to keep things plugged in. And there we have him. For the most part, take the cannon here and you just plug it into this little port on Rampage's leg, like so. You can open up the hand over here and plug this into his hand. Or his hand can just come off. That works too. You know, whichever. Then you plug the hand back in. And okay, so we've got some serious issues going on here. Before we get into those, we'll do some size comparisons. And I know I can hear people screaming to do the other Predakings, but I have that whole, we're going to do all the Predakings at once. We're going to do a full-on war to determine which one's better. So, we'll start off with the Seekers. There is Ramjet. So big he stacks up there. He's definitely works really well on the classic scale. When you get into the bigger figures, it still works, but not as well. That's still pretty good scale. I mean, he's a big bot. Don't get me wrong there. Let's see here. We got Scourge and Brawl. Again, works better with the smaller scales, but works okay with these guys. And then here is Masterpiece Car. And it kind of works with the Masterpiece scale. And here's Springer. So, you know, it kind of works with these guys as well. It's still, I think, most combiners are going to work better with the smaller scale to begin with. And we're going to pull them off over to the side. Still nothing to do with these tails. They just sit there. And here he is next to Giant, or Hercules. See how they stack up there? He's, you know, a lot of pictures make him look so much bigger than Hercules, but he's really not. Let's see. We'll start doing this with the combiners at least. To the head, he is 13 inches, and to the head, he is about 12 and a half. So he's about a half inch taller. Shoulder to shoulder, he is about 9 and a half, and he is about 7 and a half. So he's a lot bigger, like he's a lot wider. He's got more mass to him, that's for sure. But he's not significantly taller than Hercules here. Get him out of the way. And now we're going to get into everything that I don't like. I'm not a huge fan of having to put a twist tie on his leg to keep it together. And the feet have a tendency of falling apart. They haven't yet, aside from the back toes going apart. If you look on the back here, these cannons don't really fit back there anymore, and there's no way to pull them out any further. So when they brush up against the wings, it pulls the wings back. Now the port connecting the wings to this top section is very tough. The bottom one's not so tough. So when he pulls it back, it unlocks the head. So you get this look. Because the head doesn't really port in there very well. So my best suggestion is to remove these cannons to alleviate that issue. So you plug the head back in, and then you plug these bottom posts back in. And this is what I was afraid. You know, it's just everything on this guy is ported together with really loose slots or 5mm ports. The combiner ports are a little bit better, but I still think they should have been bigger. He's got major stability issues. As you can see, he's wanting to fall either forward or backwards. And the fact that like his hips are still movable in this mode. See that? That also doesn't help with the stability of the whole figure. His hips kind of wiggle a little bit. Still more than I would like, but it's not nearly as bad. Alright. So, posability. His head is on a ball joint, so decent range of motion there. Yeah, it goes all the way around, up and down. If you go back, you might pull it back because there's a lot of weight. I've never had a figure that had the back of his neck weighted back so far. The wings are on those armatures, so they can go up and down, in and out, back and forth. They're also on 5mm ports, so if you want to just pull them off, you can. They also extend here. And then the individual feathers each have hinges, and they're also on 5mm ports. This is what I'm talking about, 5mm ports. It's starting to irritate me. I mean, like, significantly irritate me. Just because things don't hold together that well with a 5mm port. It's best used for guns, really. Alright, so the line head doesn't lock in anywhere. Neither does the main pieces. Shoulder. Shoulder goes up and down. You can see while I'm moving this thing, I'm not even touching the wings. But as I move this, it's flipping those wings back. This is ridiculous here. This needs to stop. I don't even know what to do here. Everything is plugged in where it's supposed to, as tight as I can get it. Alright, let's try it now. Alright, so shoulder, up, down, in, out. He's got the bicep swivel right above the elbow. He's got the elbow bend. And then he's got a bend right below, or a swivel right below. Hand can rotate, mostly because it's just plugged in with the 5mm port. Have I stressed how I don't think these really work for combiners this big? Have I mentioned that yet? Thumb is on a ball joint, hinge and a hinge, so it's got 3 points of articulation. Each finger has a hinge up at the hand, and then at the first knuckle, and then the second knuckle. So he's got full articulated hands. The only thing that would be better is if these were on ball joints, but I can understand not doing that. And he does have 2 thumbs. Same articulation on the thumbs. Arms are exactly the same articulation. So, you know, up, down, and out. Drops the sword, bends the elbow, swivels below the elbow. It's a really tight elbow, but it does bend, or swivel. Wait, no, it doesn't. Hand falls off. Predaking. What am I going to do with you? I'm really not trying to give this guy a hard time, because I actually started this review really liking this figure because I put him together last night and just sitting there staring at him. I was like, alright, this guy's gonna be great. But as I'm doing this video, I'm kind of having second thoughts on that. So the hands are the same articulation. And that bottom swivel only works if you move the tail feathers out. But since the tail feathers I've got all integrated with the feet, it's just best not to do that. Okay, so swivels at the thigh, or at the waist. Really, really, really smooth swivel. No friction whatsoever, so I mean, if you wanted to, you could. I'm going to regret doing this, I just know it. See, just no restriction on that whatsoever. It is way too smooth. That's another part of the problem of posing this guy, is just the fact that he just swivels everywhere. Hips go up there, one click, then go back a little bit. Yeah, the skirting kind of gets in the way, so do these big things here and here and here, and the feet hanging off the back. He swivels at the connector port at the elbow, or at the knee. Bends at the knee about that far. This just, there we go. The feet are on swivels, ratchets, so you go in, out, go a little bit back and forth. Each toe can move, and the back toe falls off. I don't know what to think. Aside from, I feel that this figure was extremely rushed, and I am extremely disappointed. Just wow. I mean, I don't know what to think. I'm legitimately speechless with this thing. As you see, he's got a lot of issues. He does not hold together very well. I mean, I got a twist tie holding part of him on. I mean, you know, in the process of this, of showing off the posability, I had one wing fall off. I had the hand fall off. I had the left leg fall off. Both toes fell off. And the only reason why the right leg is in one piece is because I'm holding it together with a twist tie. Or a zip tie. Gun fell off. Sword fell out. Cannons I have to take off, otherwise the wings fall back. And they still fall back anyway. Quite frankly, this has got to be, for me, the worst combiner I have ever owned. I mean, the Fans Project Minosaur, I sold him, otherwise I'd show him off. He was extremely fidgety, and I did not like him at all. But at least when you got him in combine mode, he looked nice. Then you never want to touch it again, but at least he looked nice and functioned kind of well. This does not function at all. You cannot pose him without something falling off. Legitimately, you cannot pose this figure without something falling off. The joints are too loose. The connector ports are too loose. They're too small for something this has this much mass. There's this problem where you rotate the arm and the head falls back. I mean, this is just absolutely asinine. I mean, what was TFC thinking aside from, oh, we gotta get in the Predaking race here? he's barely functional. And I'm just really, really frustrated with it. It's just absolutely ridiculous. I can't... If he's being sold as Predaking by himself, I honestly cannot recommend him. And I really don't like saying that because I know one of the viewers was actually thinking about buying this guy from me. And if he still does, great. But I can't recommend this thing. I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 10. There's too many things wrong with it. Again, he's having issues holding onto his weapons, holding onto his body parts. He looks nice. He looks great. Had they engineered him a little bit better, he would be a very good contender for which is the better Predaking. But as it is right now, I mean, if we go for just look aesthetics, yes, he would. But as it is with engineering, he's not. He's not even in the same league as the rest of them. And we'll get into that more later this week when we actually do the Predaking War, if I can keep this guy in one piece, that is. It just... I mean... It's a huge letdown for me because I was when I was playing with Dive Bomb, I was like, man, this guy's really good. I really wish this, really hope that combined mode is really great because this thing could have been impressive, but it just, some of the elements just don't work at all, and I think him continuously falling apart on me during transformation really showed it to you guys. So there you go. I'm sure I'm going to get some shit about this, but quite frankly, with 2 other Predakings out there right now and a G1 Predaking reissue for $100 altogether, I honestly have to say there are much better options out there than these guys. The Dive Bomb, like I said, is the best of the set, followed very, very closely by Rampage. Those 2 are absolutely incredible figures. And I would still, even if you know that you're not going to get the rest of the set, I would still recommend those 2. Because they are that good. I recommend them even if you're not going to complete the Predaking. The rest of it, I honestly can't recommend it. I can't. I like being an honest reviewer. I don't get paid by some company to sell toys. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. So, I hate this thing. It is the biggest disappointment I've had in a very long time when it comes to big figures like this. This is just... I'm very amazed that he's actually staying in place while I'm talking, but quite frankly, here. I'm gonna do it again when we do the actual Predaking War, but I'm gonna do a shake test. There you go, shake test. Let's see what he did. He lost both wings. He lost a foot. And he lost a hand. I just... I just don't know what the issue was and why they decided to do things the way they did it. But ultimately, here's what I say. I say just... I can't recommend him. That's all I can say.